Oh shit, I'm so sorry for knocking you guys over. That was pretty damn rude of me, but welcome to another training video. Starting off with squats every fucking time. First set of 3 at 396 to 397. I think I just put down 397. Felt pretty easy. We're still doing tempo squats, but hopefully I think that might change after next week. So looking forward to that. Trying to push some heavier weights since I'm trying to hit RPs of 6, 7, and 8. That first set felt about a 5.5. Just needed to take it probably a little heavier. So next time I squat, I'll probably take 402 for a first set instead. The second set here, I went up quite a bit to 413. It was pretty close to a 7. It was about a 6.5. Everything felt really good this session. Knee didn't bother me at all, which is a first. Not that it's like super painful at any time. It's just that it just feels a little awkward to squat on at some points. But yeah, I can give you guys a little wink here. Pretty ugly looking today. But yeah, this is the last set. I took 424, a bit ambitious. As you can see after this first set, or first rep rather, I'm smiling. Feels pretty good. One thing that I noticed, especially when I squat, I mean it goes for every other lift, but as I get to my heavy set, I'm a lot more focused and the adrenaline just starts going. So honestly, I feel like my last sets are always strongest. I put that as a 7. Looking at the footage, honestly it looks like a 7.5 or so, but I remember it feeling pretty easy, as if I could have done like 3 more reps. So I'll be taking that a little heavier this next squat session, maybe around 430 something. These are back offs as usual, sets of 8. I think this is 331. The next set I should be a little heavier at 336 or so. These are pretty brutal after the 3s. 3s themselves aren't too bad. It's literally just 3 reps, even though it's pretty heavy. 8s on tempo, just everything starts getting fatigued. The upper body, I can't really pull the bar into my back as much. My legs are kind of like crying out. Even though I used to do like sets of 12, 8 just like does not feel good anymore. This last set here, I don't think I really unracked the bar in a comfortable position, so the last few reps were super awkward just because I couldn't really keep the same kind of like upper back tension as usual. Going back to the sets of 3, especially when I put 424 on the bar, that was my last set. It felt really weird since I haven't done anything near that weight in a while. The bar just felt like really heavy on my back, like it just wouldn't move. So that was interesting. I haven't felt that in a while, but I don't think it affected me too much during the set. It was a pretty ugly last rep, but that's all for squats really. We've got bench up next. Funny thing is that pain in my inner elbow, rather the elbow pit area, it was due to gripping the bar just way too hard. When I bench, I think I picked up this habit a couple months ago when I was still working out at the weight club. I just felt as if gripping the bar harder would help me a lot, but really I've been loosening up my grip and bench just feels a lot better. The reason I kind of like found out about this was doing a lot of research, looking up a lot of studies, quite a few meta-analyses, and yeah, it was just gripping way too hard with chalk, which allows me to grip even harder. So you start overworking the forearms essentially, and that like kind of drips down all the way down to basically where the pain was. Here you go, sets of 7 with 220. That first set, which I kind of glossed over, the top set was 275 single. I think the target RP is 6. 220, that first set felt like a 5. This last set was a 6, because instead of 7 reps, I actually did 8. Again, reps of 8, when I lose count, I do some dumb things. Either I miss 1 rep or I add an extra. So yeah, these extra 2 sets at the end are, I think, 210 tempo bench with 198 and then 204. I think I totally forgot about the 1 second pause, so really I'm just doing the 2 second eccentric tempo, and it's decent. Again, I totally forgot to pause for like a full second there, so I just gotta change that this upcoming week. Besides that, bench feels a lot better. My pec isn't bothering me, my shoulders aren't bothering me, and after this day I think I noticed a couple more things that I could fix with bench, and hopefully everything is good after this block of training. First set of pause deadlift singles at 496, having taken 474 the last week and it being really easy. I just decided I could go a lot heavier. I mean, considering the block before this, or maybe 2 blocks ago, where I was doing high paused deadlift singles up to like 540, I should have started out heavier anyways last week. That last single was 507, felt pretty good. I'm working a lot on my back positioning, and I think it looks much better because Alex said exact words. I'm not even putting words in his mouth. He said, "Hey yo bro, this shit looks like ass, you better change it." So what he gave me, it was a pretty good cue. It's a little sus though. Imagine someone basically pulling on your behind. So I'm trying to like anchor my butt to one position and keep my back in the other, but keep it consistent throughout the whole lift. I think it's definitely made a difference in terms of just like, I mean, coming off the floor is a little harder, but lockout is very easy now. These 2 sets actually felt a little harder than last week just because I'm not really throwing the weight around as much, and so I'm taking my time between each rep. This last set felt like an RPE 6 or so. The target's a 5, so kind of interesting. Or rather, this was an RPE 5 because again I only did 7 reps instead of 8. If I'd done 8 reps, it would have probably been at a 6. But yeah, everything's going really well. I can't wait to peak at some point. So yeah, it's all over. I'll see you guys in the next video. Maybe I'll make something different. Probably not. These are really easy to make.